Hi, Trae. I'm so excited to be here. Day 2 of your show. This is amazing.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much. And I'm glad that you were able to make it work with your schedule. I mean, there are some phenomenal things happening in community. You are a part of a great effort to really bring citizen journalism and the fundamentals and foundation of journalism into the community. Tell us a bit about this digital storython.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. It's a 3-day boot camp. It's the William Grose Center presents the Africa Town Digital Storython. So it's going to be a 3-day event. The first day, we're inviting some youth, some middle and high school students to show up. I'm going to give them a curriculum, just like, I guess, the Cliff Notes version of Journalism 101, how to tell a story, the anatomy of a story, how to interview, which is also so very important. And then day 2, they're actually going to go out into the community in the Central District, interview business owners, entrepreneurs, community leaders to talk about what's happening in the Central District, to talk about their business's impact in the Central District. And they'll put together these stories. And then on Sunday, they'll be able to present these stories to the community and in front of an all-star media panel. I'm talking everybody that you're familiar with in the Seattle area, some heavy hitters, some King 5, Como, lots of journalists, people who've been in major magazines. They're going to be critiquing these stories, essentially giving these young folks the skill set so they can go out and report on community events themselves. And they'll be able to establish some sort of portfolio so they can get hired, so they can go to college and gain even more skill sets to continue the journey of storytelling. I'm so very passionate about storytelling. I love it. So I'm really excited to hand down some of my learnings to the generation coming up behind me.
This is really for me what gets so exciting because many may look at you and say, oh my god, but you were at King 5. Like that's so many people that aspire to do that and trying to find their footing and their pathway, but oftentimes there isn't a lot of that. Let me reach back out, let me make sure I take a beat and take a breath to do what I can so that other people understand what it even takes. And when we think about storytelling, Britt, honestly, it can go beyond, those who are in major media doing it. I mean, I think that's really an ethos for us here at Converge Media, was that we were like, we need to tell the stories that we see in our community our way. And I think, we have to be able to inspire others to understand that as young as middle school, you can be telling your community stories.
Yeah, community storytelling, community journalism is literally the backbone of like all journalism. I know as a journalist myself, I would go to those local community-based publications, platforms like Converge, to see what you all were talking about, to see if that could be even a larger story. We need to produce more young, gifted storytellers to tell our stories, because I will say, in a mainstream newsroom, it was difficult. I had to fight to tell our stories. And being that Black journalist, it's like this weight you carry. So we need to produce more of these journalists who can go into these communities, their own communities, be able to tell these stories and leave a lasting impact on all of our communities in the greater region itself.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's literally why I'm doing what I do here, right? But I'm so excited because, being in some of the beginning discussions about this journalism boot camp and storython, we're calling it, I was really excited because I know too that this is really how William Grose is also really showcasing its ability to be embedded in the community as a cultural innovation hub and allow young people to understand that they can come to William Grose to get these kinds of skill sets. Tell us a bit about how you got connected with this effort. I know why King was making calls and tapping into community, but you've really been helping to shape what this is going to look like.
Yeah, why King and I connected, as a reporter, I'd be hustling him down for an interview, like, hey, can you do this interview in 5 minutes? So that was always fun. And when he found out that I no longer work at King 5, he was like, oh, and you're choosing to stay in Seattle? Oh my gosh. Can you be a part of this effort? And in the beginning, it was this journalism kind of boot camp, and now it's developed into this storython. And he said, what does this look like? What should we make it? And how do you think the youth are going to get the most out of this experience? And I think, you were talking about the different forms of journalism. Digital journalism is huge right now. So it's not like you have to have a major platform. You just need to be able to get your stories out there digitally, and then they could be shared, wherever. And I think that's the message for this boot camp or this storython, is that we are all storytellers. We all have it within us. And once you hone in on that skill and develop it, you can do anything. These major corporations are looking for storytellers. All you have to do is be able to tell a story.
I really appreciate that you said that, because it really leads to my next question. I mean, you left King 5. We were just talking about it. She's like, oh my goodness, I haven't been in front of the camera in almost a year. Like, so that, wow, the time goes by really fast. But you were able to take all that you really honed in as a journalist and a storyteller and do something else with it. Just tell us a bit about that, so that people understand it's not just in front of the camera work. There's a lot of ways to be sure that we utilize our skill sets as storytellers, because stories really run the world. I mean, they really do.
Totally. And it's interesting, I don't lead with this, but I had companies coming after me because they realized that I could tell a story. So there was a local PR, well, not a local, a global PR firm reached out to me after watching one of my stories for King 5. And now I work for that corporation. Wow. They understand the value of journalists having that journalistic mindset. They understand the value of being able to see something and, hey, I can turn that into a story. They understand the value of being able to talk to people and really bring out their stories. And that's what I'm really excited about with this storython, is like helping some of the youth really pull out those good sound bites, the good nuggets. I call it the good stuff, because that's what we need to share, because we are all so alike. We just need people to share those likeness stories, and it really grounds us and brings us all together, especially in a time like now.
Well, I gotta say, some of the logistics behind this, it is huge, because I have participated in Africa Town hackathons. This is really built off of that same kind of energy and strategy. This is 3 days. Friday, they're getting the lowdown. Saturday, they're going out to actually capture stories, right, with 5 businesses, Black-owned businesses in the Central District area. And then they're going to come back, do some editing, try to capture it up. Sunday, they're going to finish out editing, and then they're going to be showcasing these stories at Langston Hughes. Yeah. This is epic, because not only is it involving such a staple as Africa Town, and really, I think, bringing out some of the ideas of innovation that William Grose Center is going to do, but it's also partnering with something so historic in our community as Langston Hughes. I feel like this is really an awesome opportunity for young people, and thank you so much for bringing your brilliance to this effort and making the time. I have seen the presentations, y'all. Brit's been putting a lot of work in. Thank you for all of that. I know Salman is putting the link in the comments there. Make sure you look right there and let folks know how they can catch up with you and get their kids registered for this amazing event.
Yeah, totally. Check out the link. You still have time to register for this weekend's event. Like I said, a 3-day storython. It's going to be a lot of fun, an opportunity to connect with some of our local journalists as well. If you want to reach out to me, I'm on all socials: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Brit Moorer. It's an extra ER. And I'm always there, down to talk. Just hit me up in the DMs and we can chat storytelling. It's a passion of mine. I'm excited and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to this weekend.
Well, Brit Moorer, thank you so much. You are phenomenal. I can't wait to be with you this weekend.
Oh, it's gonna be
I'll
fun.
Be coaching my team very strongly. Okay, I'm coming for it, and you guys understand. I'm going to be bringing all my brilliance to bear. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trae.
Absolutely.